Awesome.
Light traffic, it's only 1 hour.
That's good.
Frequently.
It changes the demographic.
How'd you make out?
Still working. Legal and relatives. But I don't know which is which element. Okay, we're on. If anybody's interested. We're on.
Oh. Hi, everybody! This is not on.
It's not on.
My music is not on.
You muted some.
We're ready. Revving the engine. Getting it together. Pomaika'I kinaya umiila, papalohi maya umakele. Pomaika'I kinaya umiila, papalohi maya umakele. Got it? Yeah. Makele. Makele maya umiila, uhalele umiila.
You lost all of them.
Hello, thank you, Christina. You're beautiful this morning. I'm sure Hi'ilave is flowing and flowing after all the beautiful rain we got. Yeah. I heard even the bailele of Diamond Head, which have not been seen in a long time, were flowing. I kept saying all the winds of change came and the water flowed to wash away the end of the old year and welcome in the year of the snake. Right? Welcome to New Thought Center of Hawaii. Welcome back to our beautiful lanai here, Kealakekua. Welcome back to our YouTube station if you're watching from the internet. Hi, Mom. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that wonderful, wonderful woman. So I want to give acknowledgement and shout out every chance I get because Sheila, you're wonderful. Right. Speaking of, let's start with the body. We have a reading of the Science of Mind from the guide Spiritual Living. And today's reading is Let's Start with the Body. Naraya Wahid said, and I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I have been waiting for this my whole life. Ernest Holmes, in the Essential Ernest Holmes, says, as spirit heals the mind automatically reacts in the body. Let's face it, the body is an amazing piece of art. It is mechanical in that it moves. It is definitely alive, as evidenced by the fact that I write these words and you're reading them or hearing them. The heart pumps blood throughout the system. The lungs oxygenate the blood, which in turn feeds the muscles of the hands that wrote these words and nourishes the eyes that read them and the ears that hear them. Obviously, we cannot walk without feet, ankles, knees, thighs, hips, and the upper body too. What I find truly amazing is that none of this happens without first having the thought to take the step. Therefore, the body must be connected to the brain and the divine mind. The body connects us with everything. Take a moment to stand outside and take a few deep breaths. Push the crown of your head up toward the sky. Now feel your feet rooting into the earth. You are where heaven and earth meet. Here's a line from a spoken artist named Talib Kweli. It speaks so nicely to our being connected. Quote, I can't see my own face without a reflection, whether it be your reaction to my expression, a mirror, or water. I need the outside to see the inside, which is where I reside. Through this understanding, I know all things are one. And the affirmation. I'll read it through once, and then I'll break it up so you can repeat after me. I love my body. It is the temple of the living spirit. My body is healthy and whole. I love my body.
I love my body.
It is the temple
It is the temple
of the living spirit.
of the living spirit.
My body is healthy and whole.
My body is healthy and whole,
And so it is.
and so it is.
I wish it was.
All right. So going on that thought, I am going to welcome us to really engage in our bodies and our spirits. And we're going to go on a little meditation journey, a little prayer. I want you to breathe in, use that wonderful sense of scent. Breathe in deep. And when you release it, it's the ha. Aloha. The breathing in is the alo. And that is where, in that breath, we create magic in our bodies. We breathe not just through our nose and our lungs, but through every pore of your skin. So every time you feel that breeze on your skin, you're breathing. It is the ha, the aha, the air that enlivens us. And just like we can't see air, we can't see spirit, but we feel it. And without spirit, we don't feel quite so alive. Just without nice deep breath that goes all the way to the bottom of your rib cage, lifting up your whole body as you breathe in. That exhale, letting go of all that stagnant energy. So it is with our spirit. Another word for breathing is inspiration. So when you breathe in, you inspire. And just so it is with the spirit. We need inspiration to nourish our spirit, to lift it up like those deep breaths. Lift up our chest, lift up our bellies, expand our lungs. We need spiritual inspiration. What inspires you? For me, it's simple. It's the fellowship of beautiful kindred souls. It's the dedicated work of many hands coming together to make a beautiful place to gather, to feed our spirit, to give praise to the divine, to seek guidance for a righteous and joyous life that is in alignment, not just with spirit and the divine, but in alignment with taking care of each other. Because that's why we're here as humans. Just like we can't see ourselves unless we see a reflection. Each of us are a reflection for each other. Each person you see is a reflection of the divine. Always look within. When you have that person that you might not agree with philosophically or politically, know that we all get lost sometimes, but that our source is all the same. We are all children of the divine presence. We are all part of this universe, and we are all cosmically connected. And the only way you can raise vibration is through love and compassion. And it starts with yourself. So love your body. Love the experience you get to be here on earth. Love every moment that you wake up and breathe in this beautiful fresh air that you get to see with your eyes or feel with your hands. This wonderful experience of being here on earth. We breathe in and we are connected to the divine. We breathe out. We expand our human experience. And we're just going to sit and listen to the wonderful thoughts. And then I'll reach our lips to give us back. Welcome back. Could we have a song from our lovely singers, Mickey and Christine?
Everybody knows the words, the chorus, whatever. We are big singers here today, but that's all right. I remember days when we were younger. We used to catch a walk by the mountain stream. On the coconut hills we ride on horseback. So long ago it seems it was a dream. Last night I dreamt I was returning, and my heart called out to you. But I fear you won't be like I left you. Hey, aloha, Romeo, I remember days when we were bicycles, when our world was small enough for a dream. And you have lingered there, my sister. And I no longer can see. Last night I dreamt I was returning, and my heart called out to you. But I fear I am not as I left you. Hey, aloha, Romeo, change is a strange thing, it cannot be denied. It can help you find yourself or make you lose your pride. Move with it slowly as on the road. Please do not hold on to me, you must go alone. I remember days when we were smiling, when we laughed and sang the whole night long. And I
accept me as currently. They kill the heart, hold it all cover. They kill the heart, hold it all cover. Aloha, mahalo. I love that song. And good morning, welcome to New Thought. We are going to be hearing from Pomaika'I in a little bit. How many new visitors do we have today? Anyone? Anyone? We have a visit from a lovely fuzzy llama who I got to greet earlier today. I love llamas, although I heard alpacas are of more harmonious nature, you know. But let us be real, just because someone is cantankerous doesn't mean they're not deserving of love and compassion, right? So welcome Lama Lama, and Lama in Hawaiian means light. I don't know if anyone, yes. Not just kukui. Kukui is, another word for light, but Lama. So Lama Lama means light. And speaking of light, Coulon has been a light in my life for 20 years. Easy. I've been married 20 years. And because I'm married 20 years, is thanks to this wonderful woman, for she officiated the blessing of my husband and I making our love and declaration public and official. We signed the papers and everything. And it was beautiful because we met her through a mutual friend whom she performed their wedding. And when my husband and I went and we were trying to figure out where we were going to make our sacred vows of love and commitment, we went for a walk along the cliffs. And I was annoyed for whatever reason, because Lord knows it happens. And I looked at him and I was like, well, honey, we're on this cliff. Do you want to get married? Where do you want? And he's like, I don't know, honey. Why don't we just sit and be here a minute? And we both turned and looked out at the ocean. And at that moment, a pod of dolphins came up for a breath. And it is the most amount of breathing dolphins I have ever seen in my life. There must have been like 40. And they were in formation and they all came up to breathe at one time. And we both were like, oh. And then they disappeared and we looked at each other like, did you just see that? And we're like, yeah. And we looked out again and lo and behold, and so we sat there for hours watching this pod just kind of do this beautiful, graceful, breathing, sleeping dance that they do. Weeks later, we're inquiring about a minister to wed my husband and I. And my husband's friend goes, oh, well, I know this lady. She has the Dancing Dolphin Ministry. And we're like, and it was her. Fast forward 15 years later, wasn't even that much, but I was lost. I was looking for fellowship. I was looking for acceptance in my spiritual path because I walked to the beat of my own drum. And I walked in here, like fourth church I tried in the neighborhood. And lo and behold, Pomai was sitting here and she was leading this very beautiful, very mindful meditation. And I sat down and I felt the love and the inspiration that she was calling forth. And I felt the love and acceptance of all the people sitting here. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I just came home. And it's been a wonderful relationship ever since. Yay! And you know what? They love me up so well that I can stand on my own 2 feet and go forth in the world. And I don't need to feel that bolster all the time. I get to come back and share it because they love me up so well. I am just so full of love. I go shine it all around and love on everybody who comes in my path and give them all like, happy cheerleader vibes because that's what I got from here. That's what I got from New Thought. And I'm supposed to be telling history, and this is my history, my personal history of New Thought. And they've been loving up on everybody who needs that revival of faith, that reminder we're all divine, that we come from source and we are here to light each other's way. And I'm the odd one out because I don't follow everyone's path, but boy, do I have faith in my path, and I have love of the divine. And even though my path is not their path, our paths are parallel in love. Our paths are parallel in compassion. Our paths are parallel in acceptance and wonderment and loving on each other. Our paths are woven together because we are community. And I'm so happy because of that our paths have become the yellow brick road that will lead us home. And so, yeah. Do you have a question you want to ask everyone? Are we going to do that now or after sharing? Miracles and ordinaries come after the greeting. Unless you want ordinaries and miracles right now. I do have a question. Oh, you do? Yeah.
So after you all say your names, so we can all get to know you a little bit better, please respond to the question of, what is the question you most often ask?
Your mic's a little low. It's hard to hear.
What is the question you most often ask?
Now, is this a question that you most often ask yourself, or you most often ask the divine, or your divine self?
It could be either one, whichever pops in your head.
Well, I will lead the way since I have the mic. My name is Moni, and the question I most often ask is something I can't say over the mic. So I'll say it in code. Waltz, tango, foxtrot. Got it.
Everybody speak up.
I ask lots of questions, but I'm speechless right now. Well, I ask a question, but I already know the answer. It's just more like asking the question to do the affirmation. Who am I? I'm light, I'm love, I'm divine. So it doesn't just the question, it's not like, oh gosh, I'm looking for the answer. I ask that question and reaffirm what the answer is.
But who are you?
My name is Faith, and my question is what to do because I'm almost bored. Hi, I'm Soul, and the question I ask the most is, where does my heart belong? What does my heart belong believing?
Hi, I'm Lexi, and the first thing that popped to my mind when you asked that question was why?
My name is Sally, And the question I ask myself most is, what am I going to do next?
My name's Stephen. Yeah. Tony already answered the question for me. It's usually who and what am I? And just meditate on that.
I'm Palmer. The question I ask most often is, am I doing the right thing?
Hi, I'm Jan. Trying to formulate this. Are we going to be okay?
Good morning. My name is Reagan. How do I align today with spirit and energy?
I'm Randy, and I ask myself every morning, what can I do better to be a more loving, caring, good person in the world?
Aloha, I'm Mahina, and I usually wake up saying, all right, what you got for me to do today?
I'm Christy, and I'm usually asking myself, how am I going to get the energy to do my to-do list today?
I'm Jatayu, and I ask, how do I get out of this hole of hate and fear that I fell into just now? How am I gonna get out of that when I fall? The method to get out of hate and fear.
I feel lonely a lot. My name is Christina, and I tend to feel lonely a lot. So the question that I ask myself is, how can I connect?
Shayna, what am I here for? What am I here for? What does this life really mean? Where did I come from? Where am I going? What is this cause in between?
My name is Jim, and the question I most often ask myself is simply, why? The response I usually get back is, why not?
I'm Karen, and I'm not sure about questions to myself so much as just looking at myself, observing. But one question that's been around for a while now is, where am I going to be living? Making a decision on what place to get, and, where am I going to live?
I'm Kathy, and I ask every day how to be brave and how not to be overwhelmed, not to be fearful every day, and focus.
So Palmer already said mine. I was just thinking it right when he opened his mouth. Am I doing the right thing?
Forward.
I'm Terry. I ask myself, what am I doing?
My name is Charlie, and the question I ask most often is, can I get another cup of coffee?
I honestly ask myself, one more piece of chocolate while I think? Yeah.
And the answer to coffee and chocolate is always yes, of course. Go for it.
And how about you, Paul?
Oh, shoot. I forgot about me. The question I most most often ask is, how can I be more loving and present in the world?
I have another question. Can we have another song?
Always.
Always.
Now or later? Wanna dance now? Or dance? The reason why I'm asking is because you cross your fingers. Maybe get a full life come up into a little for us. Well, maybe when we're passing the baskets. So we're changing our song order. Just in case. Just in case it's do.
Mahalo, ladies. I love that song too. Well, it is time for one of our more beloved aspects of the miracle service, which is miracles and ordinaries. And I already see an eager hand. Come on up, Tony. Share with us your miracle and ordinary. Do you want the handheld or do you want to use this? Aloha, everyone. Actually, I forgot about this. It's been a little while, but you reminded me of it when we were talking. Wow, I hope I can do this without shedding tears. A while back, after there was a lot of destruction in Sanibel from the first or second or third, I'm not even sure, hurricane, being in the devastation, knowing what it meant to be in a worship, quote unquote, understanding a little better what people went through and how that was. And so Palmer and I ended up, somebody was visiting, and we ended up taking them on a kayak tour. We went in the mangroves and went on this kayak tour.
And it was a bright spot, a highlight amidst all the other things happening and going on. We weren't sure we were going to be able to go because of the weather, but we did end up going. We hopped in and we went around, and it was lovely and beautiful and one of our favorite places. I think there's some distinction that this particular place has, I don't remember what it is, but people from all over come to kayak there. Just as we got back towards the shore, we looked up. We can't call it a pod. They don't call them pods, but let's use that word. There was a pod of manatees, and they were breeding. And this big, heavy manatees were dancing and jumping. I didn't know they could jump quite like that. It is, I mean, just a manatee unto itself is such a unique sighting. One time we swam with them with a wetsuit on, but to watch them do this amazing dance and movement and just, we couldn't get close, of course, and we wouldn't want to do that, but even we were close enough, as close as you could be, and sitting in the kayak watching them, it was such an amazing adventure and sight to behold. And I'm just thinking about that when we were talking about the dolphins. So dolphins here, manatees in Florida. It kind of brings up for me the same. Dolphins may be a little more playful, but the manatees are majestic. And so that's my miracle and ordinary at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Tony. Anyone else inspired to share a miracle or an ordinary? Yeah, come on. Way to be brave.
Way to be brave.
Brave, okay. My husband and I don't have children, but our niece and nephew were really a big part of our life. And I was brought up Catholic. My husband is Jewish. And when Mitch was 5, it was it's called Jones sarcoma. He started to limp, and his hip actually had a fracture in it, which is a signature of the disease. And so this boy is very precious to us because he's like our son. So we called in everyone, from every Catholic, every Jew, every Episcopalian, you name it. And we were praying. And that prayer was answered. Because when Mitch went up to, they had to go to Ainsville, this is Florida. They went to Shands, which is known for cancer. And he had to go in an MRI machine. He started to scream. And my brother-in-law was there. And all of a sudden he said, "Dad, I'm okay." That night at the Ronald McDonald house, our little nephew said, "Mom, Dad, Grandpa," his name is Mitch, that's his namesake. He said, "Grandpa told me that in heaven, he gets chocolate every day, and he doesn't have to make his bed. And he told me I'm gonna be okay." Remember, he had a fracture, an X-ray fracture. His father is a doctor of physical therapy. He knows how to read an X-ray. It disappeared. He's fine. That's my miracle. Wow, thank you for sharing. That is a miracle. Wow. Would you like to come up? Or you want me to bring you the mic?
No, I'll try using
the stand-up
mic. Want to see if it works?
That's because it's a stand-up.
On? Yeah. Cool. I was on the mainland and I flew in on Thursday afternoon, just during the big wind. I knew we were expecting a storm, but when we got to the Coulon airport, they made us sit on the tarmac for an hour after we landed because they kept saying the gate's not ready. So you could hear all this hissing and moaning from all the passengers grumping like, oh, and then they announced, like, by the way, this is the last plane that's allowed to land. You guys just made it. And then all the attitudes changed and said, oh, wow, everybody's happy.
Thank you for sharing that. Because isn't that the truth? We could be sitting in the same situation, and depending on your perspective on it, you could be really upset, or you could be really happy. Thankful, right? Be really thankful. Wow, the plane got to land. It landed safe. The wheels deployed. There wasn't a crack in the runway, right? We had that happen a few times the last year. You have a lot to be grateful for. Even, even when we think we don't, we still do. And that's a miracle. Finding that in yourself. Finding that ability to change the perspective in the moment. What gift am I being presented with? What gift am I going to receive out of this inconvenience, this struggle, this challenge? How am I going to grow? Can this potentially make me a better person? Maybe next time I'll have more compassion for the next person I see having a hard time. Like, oh my gosh. And that's the miracle and ordinary of it, isn't it? And the other miracle and ordinary is this ordinary woman over here who's a miracle. This, if you do not know, is Pomaika'I. In addition to bringing people together in matrimony and joyous celebration of life and love, she is able to do that because she is ordained in a number of spiritual traditions and certified in many healing arts. Pomaika'I has spent a lifetime studying various religions and philosophies of the world and found that much of it can be synthesized down to one thought: love. Pomai has been a member of New Thought Center since 1992. She has served in many capacities, including newsletter editor, co-creator of our current website, and president of the Board of Trustees, to name a few. Currently, she is a coordinator of the New Thought Prayer Ministry. And on Sundays, you may see her in the facilitator's chair or at the soundboard, adjusting the volume of our microphones. And today we're happy to have her and welcome her as our presenter. Wow. That's me? That's a good question to ask too, by the way. That's me? I gotta share a dad joke with you. A little boy was walking by a jail, and a man runs out of the jail yelling, "I'm free, I'm free, I'm free." And the little boy turns to him and says, "So what? I'm 4." We are all living beings who are held from the time we are born. Touch is our original love language. They found in studies that babies that aren't held when they're newborns die. And the more a baby is held when they're born and through their early years, the more amazing they turn out to be as they grow up and as they become adults. It's lucky that we live in Hawaii, where hugs are normal because we get to hug each other all the time. We got denormalized from our touching and our ability and our willingness, actually, to touch each other through this last few years of a thing called COVID, where we were more or less forced to not touch anybody. And what I found during that time was that in not touching other people, I also didn't touch me. And who's more important in the world than yourself? Nobody, nothing. This is where spirit resides. This is who you are. And you have the most amazing ability to create a world that is beautiful and full of love, and full of tenderness, holding compassion. And I would like to invite everybody right now to stand up and give 3 people a hug.
You're closest to get it first. Thank you.
Oh,
Well, you're my number 4. This is my wife. I don't like
Can we hug more than 3?
I see one. Yeah. Okay. At first I thought, I'm like, oh, it's a butterfly.
I'm thinking, you know, you really help people just by saying that. That's true. Sometimes even just your eyes.
Oh.
All right, how is everyone feeling now? We'll have a little more full of love, a little more open, a little less concerned with all the ills. I'd like to just throw out there, for the sake of things I'd like to see happening here at Newport. We used to have a greeter every Sunday that would stand by the door and give everybody a hug when they walked in the door. And I would like to revive that tradition. And we could, you know, we don't have to do it every week. If we have a sign-up list and a bunch of people sign up, then you'd probably be begging to have your name on the list. So you can do it.
I used to get so high off of doing that. It just, oh wow, it just was amazing. I didn't need to meditate or pray or anything after that. It was just enough. You know, it was beautiful. So just throwing that out there. If you'd like to think about doing that, let's do that again. So finding normal after an event that impacts us so deeply and personally, and Tony's hurricane thing, I just the wars, they're just everywhere you look, there's things that are denormalizing us. And what can we do about that? Good question, right? We can pray, and we can also intend that my daughter wants what? Oh, she's loving me. We can intend that every person has a deep infection in their soul that is making them find their true self and their humanity, and to start moving and living and being and doing and thinking from that place of love and creating a world full of love. Wouldn't it be amazing? Have you ever imagined what it would be like to live in a world that was just full of love? Do you think we'd have any storms happening on the planet if we were just loving everywhere all the time? I don't think so. I think we would actually be living in a Garden of Eden. I think that was what it was like back then, because they were all living in love. Not fear, not hate, not anger, not resentment, not mistrust, all living in love. So I invite all of you in your meditations and your prayers to send out that thought in your own way to the world, to everyone, everywhere. And let's see if we can't start something new. When we start looking at being new, one of the great teachings in Hawaii, which is now becoming pretty mainstream, I hear it on TV, I hear it from people in New York City, I hear it from people in Japan. Everybody is learning how to do Ho'oponopono. Can you believe it? It's amazing. I'm so happy about that. But it's all about forgiveness, right? That's all it's really about. And the first, who do you think is the first person or thing that you should forgive? Yourself, exactly. So how can we forgive ourselves? That's the question. How can we forgive ourselves? I heard somebody said this the other day, and it shook me up and it woke me up. It says, not forgiving is like drinking poison. Think about that. We're not poisoning anyone else, we're poisoning ourselves by not forgiving. When we hold resentments and judgments and all the icky stuff that we don't want to have, really. When we hold that towards others, we're poisoning ourselves. So forgiveness is a good question to hold in your heart. How do I forgive? How often should I forgive? What's a good way to forgive? Those are the questions I want you to think about. And if you have some questions regarding that, use those. I have found that asking questions is much more important than telling and giving information. I used to think that I needed to learn a lot to be smart. I needed to learn more to be smarter, and much more to be wise. And here I am at this age where supposedly wise, still asking a lot of questions. And all I really needed to know how to do all the way along. This is something I'm teaching my daughter. Just ask questions. That's how you know yourself. That's how you know others. That's how you know what is around you. That's how you know what you need to have in your life. That's what, when you ask a question of the divine or yourself, your inner self, those are the questions that shape your life, that shape who you are, that shape your joy, your love, your healing, your health, your wellness, your compassion, your forgiveness. Ask the questions. It's all about asking the questions. The other thing that popped up for me was question your own thoughts. Is it possible that what I was taught about myself when I was a child and growing up is not correct? Did that person that I admired and that I looked up to think of me in a way that was good for me, healthy, beneficial? Or did it send me in a different direction, being timid, not wanting to be with other people, being more inner? What was I told as a young person, as a child, as a teenager, as in college, first job out in the world? What was I told? And was it correct? Because it doesn't have to have been. It's like, oh, by asking that question, you can each awaken to a new part of yourself. It's extraordinary and it's fun. So please ask that question. Next question is, what am I capable of? Oh boy. I just heard from Mommy what I was capable, some of what I was capable of, and it blew my socks off. She always amazes me. She has ever since I first met her. And I didn't know some of that stuff that she said. I'm like, okay. And that happens to be something that somebody told me about me that I'm going to choose to embody and embrace because it was so beautiful and loving. And I want to be that person that she talked about. Just exciting and happy to be that. There's another way you can ask a question as well. When you think about things you're told, or you hear, or you're told to believe, or however it might come to you, is to ask this, is this true and useful to me right now? Are you going to take it in and allow it to be a part of you? Or are you just going to let it go into the wind, disappear? Because it isn't useful. It isn't true. And how much of that truth can we embody if it's loving and supportive? Do we push that away from us in any way? Question, 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 every question. What do you think when I say giving love is more powerful than receiving love? Does anybody question that? Yes. No? Everybody believes that? Wow. I am in an elevated group of amazing spirit beings working here right now. It's awesome to be in this group. And I, like Tony shared and Moby has both shared, New Thought has no equal. This group of New Thought has no equal anywhere on the planet. And we are so blessed to be able to be a part of it, whether we're online or we're here in person. We're so blessed to be knowing, connected, and reaching out to each other, whether people are here on the island or back home, wherever that might be on the planet. And we have like one beloved who's in India now, right? So wherever our connections go all around the world, our heart connections. And the cool thing about it is that anybody who's been infected with the New Thought love and community here, they take it with them wherever they go. Everybody always wants to bring more of this wherever they might find themselves. If you want to find a way to receive, look for a way to give. When that popped into my head, I went, well, wait a minute. I already, well, what if, I want this, but I don't have it. And how can I get that? And what came up was, no, we all have things we can give. We all do. Whether it's just sharing our love, sharing a helping hand, whatever it might be, we all have things that we can give that may not be the thing that we're wanting, but it's something that we can give. So shift out of, well, if I want money, I have to give money. What do you have that you can give so that you can receive more of? And what is it that you really want more of? I have a wonderful person I work with, and his whole thing is about health, time, and freedom. If you have your health, you have everything. If you need more health, what can you give in the way of love and kindness and respect? Not to anybody else, but to yourself. This will improve your health. This will improve your wholeness. Time. You ever hear yourself saying, I don't have enough time to do that? Well, I'd really like to do that program over there, but I can't do it because I don't have enough time. Yeah, I want to send my cousin a thank you note, but I don't have enough time. I'll do it tomorrow. Anything like that ever happen with you? Yeah. Guess what? We all always have time to do what we really want to do. I'm learning that one the hard way. I learned that we all have a thing called saboteurs that are our subconscious controllers that we created when we were young to make ourselves feel safe. And the saboteurs like to convince us that we don't have enough time. We don't have enough love. We aren't loving enough. We don't have enough respect. We're not able to forgive. We're not able to accomplish anything. We're too old. We're too young. We're too fat. We're too thin. Whatever it might be. And those are little saboteurs that operate without us even being aware. So all of those things I just said, all of those negative things bring up a feeling. And that feeling is the saboteur. If you have that kind of a feeling in you, anywhere in your thought or in your body, just recognize, oh, that's my little saboteur. Please allow the sage to come forth, because within all of us, we have a thing called the sage. And the sage is that wisdom beyond knowing, that divine presence that is everywhere. That sage knows how to solve problems, how to bring new answers, how to help you interact with people. Maybe they're difficult people to interact with, but if you let go of that thing that brings up the judgment, that brings up the anger, or resentment, or jealousy, anything like that, that's your saboteur. Just acknowledge it, because we all have them. They aren't going to go anywhere, but we can diminish what they do in our lives, and we can bring the sage more fully present. And when we invite the sage in, we open our hearts, our minds to love, health, and time. And freedom is something that somehow we all innately have within us. The desire to be free. Maybe it's being free from some pilikia that we might be having, some problems. Maybe it's just freedom from our monkey mind chattering away, telling us all kinds of ick that we don't really want to hear. We want to have the freedom to be expansive and loving and open and in the flow. The flow. That creates freedom in our lives. So if we want to have those three things, what do you think we need to do about it? I'd rather leave you with the question than the answer, because we each have our own. It's individual, personal. I'm just offering ideas and questions that, in my mind, have helped me open up and be more aware and receptive to love. Which brings us to the magic elixir. What can that be? It's something that we're able to do in a heartbeat. It's something that we can do every single moment of every single day. What is that magic elixir? It changes our lives. It brings us peace. It takes us out of that icky, yucky stuff out there. And it fills us with joy and love and happiness. What is that magic elixir?
Right.
Got it. Gratitude. That's a smart man. How do we get to gratitude? It's a heartbeat away. It's right there all the time. Gratitude. I have been reminding myself and being reminded every time I turn around to restart my gratitude journal. The lady that came out with the gratitude book, like, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago with Oprah, she did it on her show. She had this beautiful pink book, and it was all about gratitude and writing gratitude every day. 365 days of gratitude. And so I got that book and I did that. 365 days of gratitude. And my life transformed. And then I got busy being life, doing life, showing up, being a bus driver for my daughter. And I do it here and there sporadically. And what I've decided is that I am going to commit to doing my gratitude journal again. I'm going to write every night, or maybe sometime during every day, I am going to write 3 things in a book. I'm going to get a big, like a notebook, and write 3 things I'm grateful for every day. And then check back with me next year about this time, because this is around Valentine's Day, right? Check back with me and ask me how I'm doing. And I'd like to invite all of you too, if you wish, to take on that challenge. It's easy, it's simple. It only takes a few minutes. We always have time for that. And see what kind of freedom and joy we can create in our lives. The next thing I'd like to share with you is the practice of mindfulness. We've all heard that phrase, and we all kind of have different ideas of what that really means. And this is the definition I heard that really rang true for me. Notice without judging. So if you're being mindful as you journey through your life, what would it be like to notice without judging? Without saying, oh, that's ugly, or oh, that's beautiful, or that's hot, it's cold, it's windy, it's dry, it's raining. Would we just notice those things without judging them? Saying, I don't like it, I wish the wind would stop. That's not true. So don't stop, please. But practicing mindfulness is noticing without judging. And that's something that used to be mindfulness meditation was something that one of the people I practiced meditation with taught. But that's something you can do everywhere you go, everything you do. Gratitude and mindfulness kind of go hand in hand. If you can do those things, joy and awe will be your companions. Are you ready to live the rest of your life in joy and awe? So be it.
Do we have time for a question?
Sure.
So I'm just curious, what do you think? You know, a lot of people on the computer so much. And I was thinking for myself, it would be easier, but I'm not sure if it's better energetically. Just while I'm on a computer, go, oh, if I start my Word document or my list, and I have it in the file, to just add to that every day. So in other words, I'm not sitting and journaling, but I'm doing it while I'm on the computer. Now we know about energetics. But is it better than not doing it at all? Because I think I would personally work it into my day a lot a lot better than thinking, oh, I have to sit down, where's my journal? Now I gotta write. It makes it, yeah.
Well, okay, so the question was, is it better to do it digitally or physically? Essentially.
I know the answer, but.
I know she knows the answer. And something happens chemically in our bodies, in our brains, when we actually physically write. And it creates a connection that can't be created when you're doing that. So that answers the question. And I would say that if for some reason you're not able to, and some people can't write, they physically can't, they have arthritis, or they have something wrong with their mobility, they just can't do it. If they're able to type, or do it digitally, or even, when I do texting on my phone, I always speak it. I never type it. I hate going, makes me crazy. So yeah, I would say if that's the way you need to do it, then do it that way. But also speak it, say it out loud, not just type it, but say it out loud. So it makes a connection in that brain so that you can do it that way. And we can all find ways to do everything we want. We can all do that.
Indeed. I know, giving gratitude, we all, in my family, we try and have family meals as much as possible since I have children on the roof still. And before we eat, we go around the table and we share 3 things that we are grateful for that day. And it can be random, so I have kids, I'm grateful I got to play Fortnite today. But they're grateful and they're recognizing, to be able to give that kind of gratitude.
That's funny.
Yeah. However simple it is, right? However we get there, it's the practice that matters, as much as the mode, but the practice.
I agree.
So if we could have a song while we pass this beautiful Coulon, and it's speaking of gratitude, us here at New Thought are deeply grateful for any energy you give towards the sustaining of this wonderful place of fellowship and spirit connection. And if green energy is not something that you can let flow freely from yourself, we always welcome energetic bolstering with helping set up in the mornings before service, helping break down at the end of service, bringing an abundance of your opportunities as well, not just simple prayer and showing up, because it's a lot more fun to sit up here and talk to people. So I give gratitude for the music that shall be played and for all of the offerings that go forth into this Coulon bowl.
Okay, you guys are in luck. Those of you who are here and can see. Pomaika'I she was in my hula class many years ago, before she got really busy. And being a mom and facilitator and just a busy person, loving the world. So she's going to do a hula for us that we did, oh my gosh, a while ago. It's called Kapua'i Papahau, so you'll understand the words, but we will be so blessed and grateful to have Pomaika'I.
Is because I forgot.
No, just enjoy. Mahalo, no judgment. Sorry. Ideas.
Gardenias blooming wide. Hibiscus blooming bright. Oh, hey, I'm away. Your lips are oh so red, like the bird of paradise. Oh, hey, I'm away. Flowers are blooming all over her body. They smell so sweet, they are very big. They'll brilliant through and through. High above, they walk the floor. Oh yeah, away from somebody. Flowers are blooming all over, blooming all over her body. They smell so sweet, they are very big. They'll brilliant through and through. High above, they talk around. Oh, hey, I'm away from life. Oh, hey, I'm away from life.
We love the flowers.
Mahalo in gratitude for the mele and the hula and the abundance that flowed forth. May it all return back to you tenfold, and may you feel the nourishment and sustenance that we have brought forth today in your hearts and spirits. Coming up, do you have any events coming up? I know sometimes you do workshops, sometimes you lead the prayer ministry, and you do trainings. So anything on the docket for this month?
Well, prayer ministry is inviting everyone to put any kind of prayer request. It doesn't have to be for a problem, it could be for joy or into our prayer box, which is over there on the table with the honu. And we have an expanding team. We have well, I think we have 3, is that right, Kathy? 3 new people on our prayer team. And they're going to be graduating pretty soon. It's very exciting. We're going to actually have a graduation party for them here. So that's coming up. And we're very excited about the expansion of our prayer team. And our prayer team is trained in religious science treatment through the, what do they call it? I keep forgetting. They changed the name. Used to be religious science, and it was Science of Mind, and now it's like Centers for Spiritual Living. That's it. So anyway, it's using that training in that format, which is the way that Jesus taught us how to pray, which is not beseeching or asking, it's declaring, and declaring what is, the truth of what is, and that is the way we pray. So it's a little different than most of the world thinks of prayer. It's a little different, and it's extremely effective. So I invite you to do that if you'd like to. I have a wedding coming up Friday, but I don't think they want everybody here.
All right, everybody, we're going to crash this wedding.
I keep trying to not do weddings, and I keep getting calls from people, so it keeps happening.
Special couple, it must be divinely aligned for you to step out and bring them together.
That's what I say. Spirit did it, I did.
Well, coming up at New Thought Center of Hawaii, of course, every Sunday we have our services at 10 a.m. here or on live stream. Next Sunday is very special. We have our annual membership meeting. So that's the 9th. We'll be doing a mini service. We'll have music by Vaboda and a free lunch afterwards, courtesy of New Thought. But come, our annual membership meeting is always a fun time. The week after that, February 16th, we will have Welcome Back Pomaika'I. And if you do not know who he is, then you should come and hear the man speak and sing. And if you're lucky, you'll get to see him hula. Because, wow, that man he can channel some serious energy. He's a very, very amazing historian, songwriter, teacher, smiley, happy guy. And then on the 23rd, we have Marie Rose Fanle, and she is going to talk about Cultivate Your Soul and music by Ola Sangals. We have weekly classes with Jin M. Wong. He teaches Tai Chi and Qigong on Mondays from 4:30 to 5:30, $15. Come at 4 for the long form of Qigong. Monthly events on the second Sunday, so that will be next Sunday. You have not yet missed it for February. We have a crystal bowl meditation from 9 to 9:30, also known as a sound bath. End of month potluck, last Sunday of every month. It's after service, and the next one is February 23rd. On Saturday, February 15th, Mariah Mann will be talking about Life Wave. It's the first of 4 monthly workshops featuring bioshamanic journeys that will be in the Honua room, 1 to 5. On Friday, February 21st, Thierry Lam will be doing Opening Your Throat Chakra, how to activate your vocal healing powers. That's from 10 to 1, $35, snacks provided. February, March 1st, Margie Bourgeois will be talking about independent living from 10 till noon on the lanai, $25. And then, very exciting, I was so excited to see this name back on our docket. I don't think she's been on island for a couple of years. Lehua Lopez will be here March 8th, and she will be talking about the mysticism of aloha. That's from 2 to 3:30 on the lanai, $20.
Don't miss that one.
Don't miss that one.
She hasn't been here for years. She's been in New Mexico.
She's been in New Mexico teaching at the university there as a anthropological expert in indigenous wisdom. She is a powerhouse. She is articulate, she is intelligent, and she speaks from aloha, with aloha, about aloha. She's very cool.
Yeah.
Invitations. 1. Are you a member of New Thought? If you're not, you're invited to join.
How do you know? Remember not. You checked our list.
For those of you who may have been attending for years, we understand if you may have forgotten whether or not you signed up. Because we have people who come for decades and decades and they never join. And that's okay. You don't have to join. We love you just as you are. But we also love you if you join. And you get a really fancy little certificate that says you're a member of New Thought, and it's got nice little fancy lettering, and you can put it in a frame and hang it on your wall. And on those days, like I personally have had where I am like deep in despair and I'm like, oh my God, nobody loves me. I'm just like, I'm messing up everything. And I'll go and I'll look at my little certificate and I'll be like, I have friends. I have people who love me. They do, because they gave me a lei and they gave me a paper and I belong somewhere. And it helps. It really does. And so I still have that piece of paper. And I think of it and I'm just like, yay, I got people who love me. in my all wild and wacky weirdness, and they still love me. So, and I've been up here, I've cried in front of y'all, you know, I've cried. You've heard me yell at my kids, and you still welcome me back. And on potlucks, you still feed me even if I don't bring anything. And at the end of the month, you let me take home your extra produce, and I feed my family with it, and it's a glorious thing. Which is the other thing. If you have extra farm produce, we don't make it just the end of the month anymore. If your tree is abundant, bring it in. We'll eat it. We love it, all of us. You know, and never be shy about taking it, because that's the part of giving. It's great to give, but we also need someone to receive. So if you got a whole lot of aloha, a whole lot of produce, you can come here, bring it, we'll share, we'll receive what you have to offer, because we love you. And because we love you so much, we invite you to submit prayers to our Honu box, which is over here on the table. And like Pomai said, it doesn't have to be, you know, a prayer for because you're in trials or tribulations, although those are absolutely welcome. If you just want a little, you know, group hurrah cheering for a little more joy in your life, you want a little spiritual boost to maybe get that extra special rental that has a roof that doesn't leak and a toilet that works, you know? You never know.
Hot water in the shower.
And hot water in the shower. Well, that's asking a lot.
Oh.
This is South Korea. You can always go to Ho'okena at noon and get a hot shower. No, but for real, we've had miracles happen where, you know, someone stood up and like, I need a place. And they find one. It happens. Miracles happen. And if you've got some power prayer hitters in your corner, you can heal fractures, not just in your hip, you know, fractures in your family, fractures in your faith. That's what we're here for. We're here to heal each other. And it can be anonymous. You just put out a piece of paper in that little box, and we will pray for you. Because again, we love you. And if you haven't yet, we have a mailing list. You can sign up and you can get all this great little information delivered to you on your email if you would like. And we do have a website, but you have to have a working Wi-Fi to website, which I didn't today, or else I would have told you actually what has happened in New Thought history and not my personal New Thought history. Are there any other New Thought announcements I may have missed? And for you, for those who don't know, this is Pasha. She is our fearless president.
So there's a certain timing of, it's determined by government agencies of some sort about when New Thought is supposed to give these papers to acknowledge our donors. Now, I know we can't acknowledge all of you because if you put cash in the cold bowl, we don't know where it came from. But I have some letters for people who have made donations by check or PayPal in 2024. And if it's over $100, we automatically give these letters. But if you donated less than that, you still won't. It's making a funny sound, isn't it? Okay, anyway, let me know and we'll produce a letter for anybody. But I see a few of you here today that I have letters for. So I'll give the ones I have and mail the ones that we don't see you in the circle in a week or so. And anybody else that wants one, just let me know. Also, one thing that if you are a member, it would be good to mark any corrections on our list because we're gonna print out copies for next week. So I think it's on that same table with people that want to join and aren't members already. By the way, any person who feels drawn to New Thought and they're 12 or over can become a member. So in another year, Faith will be eligible. Thank you.
So I just want to clarify that New Thought Center of Hawaii is a 501c3 not-for-profit entity. Therefore, any donations you happen to make are tax deductible. And these are the fancy letters that Pasha is talking about, because many of our members support and sustain us through writing a check. So in the future, in this year of 2025, if you would like your contributions to be recognized for a tax deductible letter for next tax season, keep trying, and we can do that. And then the giving happens twice. So just a way to pay it forward. And that's part of the reciprocal cycle of things, right? You give and you receive, you give and you receive. So just wanted to point that out. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Pomaika'I, for all your words of wisdom. I hope everyone is feeling nourished and sustained to take you through until we gather again next week for our annual membership. And to that, I want to give deep gratitude for the peace of this place, for the harmonious sanctity of this island, for the hearts and the spirit and the joy that we all get to share in. We live in paradise, and it is I've found my sacred duty, and I call on you to take it your sacred duty to fully live in gratitude in this beautiful, wonderful space, because we have that privilege. We get to be the vibration of love and aloha that stays strong and resonates out to the world, because not everyone has this privilege of peace, of sanctity, of harmony, but we do. And so let that bolster your spirit, let that fill your heart. And whenever you start to feel despair, say, no, I'm going to fall in love with this moment, with this time, and I am going to send it out across the world. And with that, let's see our song about our beloved land of our birth.
And also like to say mahalo to Pomaika'I for that. Haven't seen you dance, oh my gosh, how many years? You didn't dance how many years? So mahalo.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if you're on the way. See you soon.